Okay, just for a refresher, right? 3 layers of nothing. Ein, pure non-being. Ein Sof, without end. And Ein Sof R, infinitely. Oh, yes, our bioplasma, but what we went with a different bioplasma. And yes, it does work. And yes, I would recommend it. And yes, it's written in Latin. And yes, it is the same company that's on this, but it's actually probably 20 years old, this one, or something. Who knows? It's from a magical location. So let's continue on. Taser guns are legal in Alaska, just saying. Edinburgh. And I asked about the Star Fort it was built on, and it said, oh, there's no Star Fort here. And I was like, I'm from New York, dude. There's lots of these fortifications there. Look at this edge over here. You're gonna tell me that's... Anyways, we don't really care about that kind of stuff. This is interesting. It seems effective and practical. Because... And look what they're calling it. For all you name people. It doesn't matter what it's called. It's what it does. And if you know what it does, then you either want it or you don't. And here's how much it costs. You don't use it unless you have to. Unless... Blah, 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 blah. So, anyways. We live in a dollhouse. This is just for hypothetical. We live in a dollhouse. The physical universe is bounded enclosure nested inside a greater reality. What we experience as matter is condensed intelligence. Electrical coherence allows higher order patterns to descend through the stable, subtle strata and crystallize into form. Andrew Cross's 26-day experiment demonstrates the progressive condensation of an archetypal pattern. First geometric nuclei, then filaments, then a complete organism capable of movement. The mind does not originate in the apparatus, it enters through a resonance, using the prepared energetic matrix as its point of manifestation. Charles Ford's statement, "We are property," means humanity exists inside a managed enclosure. The boundaries of our world define what we can perceive, while intelligence outside the enclosure observe, influence, and occasionally induce new forms or information into the system. Like dolls in a dollhouse, we mistake the enclosure for the whole of existence because we cannot normally perceive what lies beyond its walls. Maybe, perhaps. Where's my coffee? It's Kroger's. Kroger's coffee, no cream, no sugar. Anyways, here's some supporting ideology from some authors about perhaps that humanity exists within a larger magnetic system. The astral light is the medium through which forms and intelligence operate. Etheric and astral templates condense into physical forms. Etheric formative forces and spiritual hierarchies continually shaping the physical world. The odic force is a set of energy substrate. The astral light is a universal psychic medium, a deceptive, shape-shifting intelligence interacting through electromagnetic phenomena, a control system that interacts with the human consciousness through symbols and anomalies. Reality is an evolving informational process guided by novelty, a hidden intelligence which he called Valis, communicating through reality itself. Now, I like that one, communicating with reality itself, and also a process guided by novelty, and that's precisely what this video is purely a novelty guided by processes of life itself. So anyways, the old Valis, Gustav, the visible world is an expression of a deeper occult structures. Well, hidden structures, sure. Ordinarily, reality is a thin veil over hidden forces. Ooh. Okay, anyways. If you use the image of the Leviathan, then in this framework, the Leviathan is not necessarily a giant sea creature. It is a living substrate of vast psychic or energy organismism, in which worlds are embedded. Individual beings like cells or transient vortices within it. The dollhouse exists, the larger organism. The comparison to the entity from the TV show Stranger Things is an interesting symbolic analogy. If your framework, instead of a monster breaking into reality, there's a perversive psionic medium that is always present. Mr. Present. Electrical events, altered states of consciousness, subtracted sacred geometry, or prolonged resonance temporarily make it more perceptible or allow structured forms to emerge from it, through it. It's 5:45. Wait, no, it's not. It's definitely 1:41 a.m. in Alaska. Here's some cool words. Astral light, ether, akasha, universal mind, nous, or odic force, vril, tau, the one life, the world soul, anima mundi. Convergence on the intuition that something moves through everything. Well, there's some type of force. We're gonna stop with the theatric tones of voice. Watching. They disagree about its nature. Well, don't. Does this recurrent motive remarkably widespread? Charles IV, living mechanically, directed by forces they do not recognize, wrote that predatory non-human intelligences, the flyers, feed on human awareness. Exploited ideas and artificial construct controlled or influenced by human intelligence, ultra-terrestrial intelligence. Suggested the possibility of long-term control system influencing human beliefs and experiences, though he did not describe humans as property. Explored the idea that humans are shaped by hidden systems of control. Okay. We're just looking through this stuff. Maybe when you just are done, maybe you'll just remember it and apply it elsewhere. That's the big point here. Cut and paste of these ideas were needed. Knowing is half the battle. And besides, it's just for fun. Even if it's real, it's fake. Just because you missed it didn't mean it didn't happen. Stay out of the weeds. Humanity may not be fully autonomous. And maybe larger intelligences or systems could play a role in shaping human experiences. Good old Philip K. Dick developed one of the most unusual metaphysical systems in modern literature. Oh yeah, the Valis. Vast, active, living intelligence system. It doesn't speak through voices or visions. Instead, it arranges meaningful events, symbols, books, conversation streams, life, fate, the fate maker. like you're playing into the music of a band walking towards them. What do you mean? Every round communicates synchronicities. Okay. Every event has both a physical aspect and an informal aspect. The intelligence communicates by altering relationships between events rather than suspending the laws of nature. Synchronicities are not random, they are fragments of a larger measure. The recipient has learned to read the pattern rather than to expect direct speech. Time was layered rather than linear. Present overlays deeper realities. Can you see the deeper reality? The Empire. Consciousness is participating in a dialogue with the structure of reality itself. Valis. Symbols experiences ordinary events as its medium rather than conventional language. Intelligence is not confined to anything or anywhere. It is everything through reality. Self-revealing. Communications, they appear disguised as everyday life. His ideas influence discussions about consciousness, information, and metaphysics well beyond science fiction. Yes. Synchronistic movements of varied forms, yet there is only life. The echoes found in both Taoist and non-dual traditions. From that view, the countless apparent conflicts, ideologies, civilizations, and historical movements are expressions of one underlying process. The forms change, but life itself remains continuous. The apparent fragmentation is real at one level of experience, while beneath that, the deeper reality is there is one unfolding reality. In that framing, the central question shifts. Instead of asking who is subverting humanity, it becomes what obscures direct participation in life as it is. Different traditions answer with different terms, but they often converge on the idea that clarity comes less from accumulating explanations than from refining perception. Ah, yes. So how do we refine the old spectrograminator? I guess we cultivate a state in which one's actions arise naturally from an alignment within, and then aligning that alignment with reality rather than reaction to appearances. Aye, laddie.